What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Apex Vision TV. I briefly talked about my next video and how it should be Assetto Corsa and Automobilista 2. We're going to go ahead and get into that since I just got that text you never want to get. David, I need you to work overnight tonight. I'm wide awake. Let's make a video. Alright, before we get on track, let's talk about what made me get into AMS2. Being new to the PC game and Assetto Corsa being such an old game, I felt like I had got everything out of it at that time. So I wasn't on it as much. New, exciting sim, dog, whatever. Broke down and really got into it. Went ahead and bought the SF1000. I'll link the SF1000 unboxing below. But when I got the SF1000, I'm still on the T300 at this point. But it had a screen on it, had a display, 4.3 inch. I had an image of the SF1000 right here. Killer wheel, man. Honestly, not nearly as nice as a lot of other stuff. And I'm realizing there's an echo in here, but not nearly as nice as some of the other stuff. But it had carbon fiber, it had a screen, had a bunch of inputs for me to use. So traction control 1, 2, I got knob, brake bias, ABS. It's an F1 wheel, and I was driving GT stuff with it. Perfect, because I could get the car exactly how I wanted. In between sectors, I'm able to adjust it. Adjust the brake bias. It rains, I adjust that. ABS. That wheel did not work on Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa. But it did work on Automobilista 2. And Automobilista 2, it was new to me. It felt like Project Cars 2, which is fun, but never felt better than Assetto Corsa. It was never about that. It was about me buying a wheel and wanting to use it fully. And then how good the roster of cars and tracks is in the AMS2. But that being said, it's been a while since I revisited a regular Assetto Corsa, and I always wanted to do this league thing. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna drive 911 GT1 on Assetto Corsa and in Automobilista 2. We're gonna do 3 laps each, maybe a race. We'll do a race, but then I'll kind of talk about the experience. So that's the point of the video today. Stay tuned. Alright guys, AMS2, we just gonna do a quick race before we go to Assetto Corsa, and that's kind of the real video. We're just doing this just for comparison's sake. And like I said, the big thing for me with this one is, you can set it up. Nice roster of cars, nice amount of tracks. I've done several videos covering AMS2, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't. I'm real big on being able to enjoy all the sims for different reasons. I think I just come to realize that this is never gonna be the one that gets the league traction I want. So let's go ahead and get ready to go on track. We're gonna go 911 GT1 because that's one of the cars in a Assetto Corsa that's in the game. You don't have to mod it. And that was a big reason for me liking this one. Like, I'd rather just pay for a pack than have to find mods. And if I want to do a league, I got to convince people to download them and all of that stuff. But I'd be lying if I said the screen wasn't the main reason for me wanting to get back into it. Well, for me giving this a chance over continuing on regular Assetto, it has a good track list, good good car list, daytime, nighttime. Oh, it's been running better for me. Uh-oh. Boost kicked in. Uh-oh. It's my first race back, guys. Actually crazy to think about. This is like my home track now versus Arizona Motorsports Park or whatever it's called. I think they actually renamed it back to Firebird. Like I said, this I've had plenty of laughs and plenty of fun with this over the years. It does kind of have a weird feeling that I can't really explain what it is. Uh-oh. Again, first. Oh, man, I'm bad. I am rusty. Oh, man. It's almost like the cars feel like glued in the front. But everything wants to like slightly oversteer. And again, it is, especially with the lower downforce stuff. Work our way up. Super excited to come here in real life someday. Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling today. Alright, let me go quiet. It's because I'm trying to talk. Let's hit all our points. That's how you know I'm rusty, though. Nobody gonna race with me driving like that. It's a capable car. You saw me there. Come on, computer isn't great in AMS2. I'll tell you, I done definitely grown to prefer NA cars for the reliable like power delivery. I get oversteer with these turbo cars and definitely think it's a boost, a boost kicking in type of thing. We got this beautiful night transition. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm not real big on 6-cylinder turbo stuff. Last lap, clock hit zero after I started that previous lap, and I got it set to 10 minutes plus one lap. That's a shitty part about, crappy part about this not being a person. Can't apply pressure the same way. Uh-oh. See, say what you want about this game. At nighttime transition, I wonder what percentage I have it on. He's trying to pass for 7th place. That's alright. Still a fun game, man. Really small track. Alright. There is not a lot of GT1 options on here without mods. So, I mean, I threw the F1 GTR in there. That's a real GT1 car. This is more of a Le Mans prototype. And then I threw the MC Hammer, as Jeremy Clarkson called, the MC12. I haven't driven on a Assetto Corsa in a long time. But I'll tell you right now, the braking is better. Yeah, you downshift, middle of a corner, the car rotates better. The point of this video, ultimately, give you the short version, is this car, or Assetto Corsa rather, I feel like it promotes better driving techniques. MX5 Cup car, perfect example. Oh yeah, MX5 Cup, you're not gonna, like, you gotta roll the brake, you gotta roll the throttle, you use the gears to help the car rotate, or over rotate like I almost did. But I'm gonna go quiet and see what type of lap I can like lay down, and then I'll give my full detailed video comparing the two. I also got the feedback at 100%. Because the last time I drove on this, I had the original Track Racer chassis. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had to turn down force feedback because it's so much heavier on a stable chassis. I wanted a stronger wheel until I got this chassis. I do still want one, but I don't need one. MC12 leaving me like it's supposed to. And I'm leaving F1 GTR like I'm supposed to. So yeah, it definitely rewards technique. Not over driving the car like I'm currently doing. Oh, uh-oh. Last place, God. don't be, don't be like Apex. Honestly, I'm rusty though. Downshift protection. Oh yeah. It's a much harder car to drive on here. Yeah, you can actually stand on the brakes fully without locking up. Oh shit. I need my NA power band. That's what I need. I need my NA engine. I hate managing boost. And it's actually funny because, you know, a few years ago, probably like 5 years ago now, you could not tell me that this wasn't my favorite GT1 car to race with. But now, I would definitely rather use the CLK, LM, F1 GTR, LT. I'll put that in front of both of those. I'll put both of those in front of this. Group C though, the 962 is definitely better than the C9. Just because of its drivability compared to the C9. The C9 wants to bite your head off at all times. Same spot. I gotta go up a gear there. Have to. Normally I'm pretty good about counting the gears, but I couldn't even tell you what gear I was in just then. Funny thing about this game though, when I tell you my earlier PC stuff was struggling, and it was really like struggling. Um, I would get a 99% GPU warning, turn that down, and I got a 99% CPU warning, so I lower it. Now I got a pretty good CPU, so it's not something that I have to manage, but this is definitely more of a skill game than it's a full-on sim, right? You could argue Automobilista is Simcade. It's based on the Project Cars 2 tire model. Again, nothing wrong with that, but it is something you gotta deal with. Make sure to go up a gear this time. Yeah, you see the tire marks. Yeah, that was brutal. That was. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Assetto Corsa versus Automobilista 2. Now, I do think they serve slightly different purposes. Um, and Automobilista 2 is newer, so the graphics are going to look better. It's going to run smoother, unless you really got the hardware for the older for Assetto Corsa. But with that being said, man, I think Assetto Corsa really promotes better driving techniques, and that's probably why I struggle more. It's probably why I went slower. Um, I was thinking like the stuff that you do in MX5 Cup and iRacing rewards faster lap times in this than it does in Automobilista 2. So that's kind of what made me want to get back into it. That being said, what cars do you use on the Assetto Corsa? I mentioned it being older. I mentioned having to do mods and have to host lobbies for these cars and tracks and all of that. Even Le Mans, this is a modded Le Mans because it's not in the base game. But there's nothing wrong with that. But now we got a tough question. Uh, do you go late 90s GT1, aka F1 long tail, CLK GTR LM, or do you go early GT1 F1 GTR that I'm driving, CLK GTR year one, 996 GT1, Elise GT1. So there are definitely strong cases on both sides. You know, do you want a more fierce GT1, almost borderline LMP, or do you want more of a street-based GT1 with, you could argue, a little more iconic and a little more true to what the rules were? Open-ended video. Definitely want to do this and start driving on regular Assetto Corsa more often. As you could see in here in the replay, it was only the 911 GT1, which all of them left us. So that goes to show how much faster they were than even the Maserati, and especially the earlier McLaren GT1. But with that being said, we're going to end the video here. Hope you enjoy the V12 Symphony. Comment down below, man. Definitely getting all this stuff figured out. Apex out.